Today, we are diving into a really fascinating question. Can natural substances, the ones backed by real, solid science, actually play a major role in supporting brain health, especially for conditions like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's? We're going to dig into the research, but we'll start with an incredible personal story that honestly reveals a really powerful principle. So let me kick things off with a question that might sound a little weird. Can something natural actually be too powerful, too effective? It's a strange idea, I know, but trust me, it is the absolute key to understanding everything we're about to cover today. Okay, so this all started with one person. Their goal was pretty straightforward. They wanted to see if an extract from an early harvest plant, one that's super rich in these compounds called CBGA and CBDA, could help ease their Parkinson's symptoms. There were some promising studies out there, so, it seemed worth a shot. The experiment began. And the results, they were dramatic and honestly pretty confusing. On the one hand, it was this huge success. Tremors got better, walking improved, and their overall sense of well-being was way up. But, and this is a big but, there was this severe, awful downside: debilitating hallucinations. So what on earth was going on? You'd think the plant itself was the problem, right? Turns out it wasn't. The real issue, the real culprit, was discovered when they looked at how this natural extract was interacting with the person's existing Parkinson's medication. It was all about the combination. And here's the bombshell. That natural extract was acting like a massive amplifier. It was boosting the body's absorption of the standard Parkinson's drug Levodopa by a staggering 30 to 50%. So, without anyone realizing it, the patient was essentially getting a massive overdose of their own prescription. And the solution? It was surprisingly simple, almost elegant. They just cut the dose of the conventional medication in half. And within 2 days, poof, the hallucinations were gone. But here's the best part. All the benefits stuck around. The better motor skills, that sense of well-being, it all stayed. In fact, their cognitive test scores actually went up by 7%. This whole experience led the neurologist on the case to a really powerful conclusion, one that just sticks with you. They said, more plants, less pills. And that quote, it's the perfect bridge from this one incredible story to the bigger scientific idea at play here. What this story perfectly demonstrates is a concept called synergy. So what is it? Well, put simply, it's when two or more things work together to create an effect that is way, way bigger than what each one could do on its own. It's like 1 + 1 = 5. This is the core idea we're going to be exploring. All right, so let's shift gears to our first natural ally. And it's one that millions of us, probably you included, start our day with: the good old caffeine in your morning cup of coffee. The science behind coffee's power to protect our brains is just extensive. It's been shown to protect the very dopamine-producing cells that are hit so hard in Parkinson's. It can even delay the onset of the disease. And for Alzheimer's, studies show it can literally cut the rate of cognitive decline in half. And yeah, you guessed it, it also works in synergy with certain medications, just like in that story we started with. Let's put some numbers on this, because they're pretty impressive. Looking at large-scale studies, regularly drinking about 2 cups of coffee a day is linked to a 25% lower risk of developing Parkinson's and a 30% lower risk for Alzheimer's. I mean, that is a huge protective effect from such a simple daily habit. But hey, coffee's just the beginning. It's a great start, but let's zoom out a little, because science has pointed us to an entire toolkit of natural boosters that can offer some amazing support for our brain health. So here are some of the heavy hitters, right? You've got Mucuna Pruriens, which is a natural plant source of Levodopa; green tea, which has this powerful compound called ECGC that helps protect those dopamine cells; of course, omega-3s for crucial cognitive support; curcumin, which can help reduce brain plaques; and even blueberries. Fantastic for fighting what's called oxidative stress, which is basically just wear and tear on our cells. Okay, out of all of those, I want to pull one out and really focus on it for a second. Curcumin. That's the active stuff in turmeric. It is incredibly potent. A major analysis of studies found it can help reduce the buildup of those nasty amyloid plaques, the protein gunk linked to Alzheimer's, by as much as 25%. But here's the catch with curcumin. Your body's not very good at absorbing it on its own. And that's where our old friend Synergy comes back in. Get this. By adding just a tiny pinch of black pepper, you can boost your body's absorption of that curcumin by an incredible 2,000%. It's just another amazing example of how nature works together. Okay, so we've got all this amazing information, but, knowing it is one thing. Applying it safely and methodically, that's the whole ballgame. So let's go over the rulebook for how to actually put this stuff into practice. Here's your safe 4-step strategy, and this is so important. First, and I can't stress this enough, only introduce one new thing at a time, just one. Then, give your body a week or two to see how it feels. Observe the effects, keep a simple diary, nothing fancy, just to track any changes. And always start with a low dose and increase it slowly over time. And here's another little detail that makes a huge difference. How you take something can be just as important as what you're taking. Things that are fat-soluble, like that curcumin we just talked about, they need to be taken with some fat, like yogurt or olive oil, to actually get absorbed. On the other hand, water-soluble things like B vitamins, you can just take with a glass of water. Simple, but crucial. But of all the rules, this one is the most important. It's the golden rule, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. Before you make any changes, before you add more coffee or try curcumin or anything else, you have to talk to your doctor or neurologist. This whole approach is meant to be a partnership with your medical team, not a replacement for it. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that these powerful, science-backed natural synergies really do exist. They can offer incredible support, but they demand our respect, they demand careful management, and they demand professional guidance. And that really leaves us with one final and, I think, empowering question to think about. What's the first conversation you're going to have with your doctor?